The name is Giselle, which is many men's dreams. It's just part of an installation. It's a chandelier I did for Swarovski. It normally comes with its own light above and below, and so she sparkles everywhere. It's called True Giselle. I had started working as a PR up in the press office. It went really well. I hated it. I had nothing to do with PR. I had my own office already for Sibila, the Spanish designer. And after a few years of a dream, which was to open a store in Paris, we opened it. We did an amazing party for the opening, which was my first production, March 15, 91. And that morning, after years of building up together her name and her dreams, which was to open in Paris and all that, we did the opening. It was a tremendous success, a beautiful place. She came into the office really early in the morning, went to the kitchen, had a coffee, and she said, "You know what, I think it's time for me to quit." And I was like, what? And instead of that, I said, okay, I'll stick to do what I really enjoyed towards the past few years, which was art directing and producing the party we just did last night, or the shows, or the events, or whatever. Make a long story short, being known here very quickly as a PR, designers would offer me to take on the collections and the PR for them, but none of them would say, hey, do my show. So it's like, you know what, let's go to New York. And New York was just starting. It was this New York Bryant Park starting in '93. I went just to have a look, and I was like, God, you know, there's a lot to be done here. And even though, ironically, the first people I did shows for while I moved to New York were European clients. I mean, they were European designers. It was Prada. We launched Miu Miu for them in New York. I did Prada in Milan. I did a fragrance launch for Jean-Paul Gaultier. The very first few things I did were not American designers, but the fact that I'd moved to New York made it happen. And then I started working with American designers such as Donna Karan for 10 years, actually, Michael Kors since 15 years now, Victoria's Secret for many, many years. I mean, all those different American designers. I'm attached to people, not so much to things. I don't really care about, you know, it could be in Spain tomorrow, it could be anywhere. It doesn't really. And ironically, what you say, I mean, well, I'm not really a set designer, but I also happen, I guess, to design sets and stuff, which lasts 10 minutes, remember? So that maybe helps me, having no attachment to any physical or material things, really, because everything I've done in my life so far has lasted 10 minutes. You know, I used to cry when I see set, you know, like, sets being destroyed years ago. Now I cry for different reasons. I cry when I see them being destroyed because I don't want them trashed and I find it a waste and an environmental nightmare. So I try to have them recycled. And what's around us is, everything around us actually is recycled sets. That's a steel that I had made for a Christian Dior show at the Grand Palais a few years ago, which I kept knowing that I wanted to use it one day somewhere. It happened to be here. I can't have a favorite show. I mean, first of all, that may sound very pretentious again. My favorite show, hopefully, I haven't done yet, because if I had done it, then I wouldn't be doing shows still. And then besides that, then I think the most interesting part of what I do is the diversity and the fact that it's so ephemeral is also the quantity. So you cannot have a favorite show. Like, I don't think I could ever have a favorite show. Challenge, I guess, I don't know. Continuing to find ideas every few weeks, every few months for a subject that is sometimes slightly similar, which is basically showing a fashion collection, however brilliant it is, to the same audience that don't particularly wants to be there. Try to move them, make them like it, or not, but at least remember it. Extremely maniac, anal planner, but I really am. I mean, try to plan every quarter of a second of every show, but then at the end of the day I also try to plan the fact that there could be spontaneity, especially when it comes to human things, to the models or the singers or the whatever, I mean the performers. All you try to do is make people understand or get a message and try to provocate an emotion. I mean, for as long as I can be inspired by what the great designers around me do and be able to help them, I think I will. What I would love to is continue to add on other activities. I mean, I started designing furniture at first because at some point I thought it was a good exercise to try to design something that would last more than 10 minutes. Then I designed a few spaces for me and then for others. I did a restaurant, a club, a hotel room, installations, which I would love to continue doing. I'd love to explore even, I mean, there are so many other subjects I'm incredibly happy to explore, and you know what, why not a film one day?